Okay, that looks good. Alrighty. So I don't need to see. If I turn it on. If I turn it on at all. Oh. Hello, everybody. Here I am talking, the mic's muted. Yes, and the volume was very low because there was no volume. What can I say? Welcome to week number 4 for the Blue Juice Jubilee variety show. And I already had some comments come in. And I don't know how anyone heard my keyboard since I had the microphones all muted. So that never happens to anybody. But anyhow, I hope the sound is pretty good. Leave me a note if it's not. Leave me a note if I've got too much light. Oh, I don't have enough light. Wait a minute. Turn on the overhead light. Yeah, always more light the merrier. Yeah, okay. I just checked. I went over and looked and checked. I try not to check too often, you know. But, oh yes, I have a show in store for you tonight. Indeed. Let me bring up my MindMaster mind map in another tab. I'll put it over here. And I'll bring that in later. but I see we have people here, and no, nobody's ears were having problems. I was having problems, you know, that's all. Just something simple like that. And so I could make this even bigger, couldn't I? There we are. Yes, indeed. Okay, now we're talking. Let me get into my my mind map for today's schedule, so that we can all look at what we have planned today. And let's see. Oh, go, 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 go. There it is. Terry's Variety Show. Ta-da! So, okay, so I have a whole bunch of stuff planned for tonight. This should be a pretty fun night. Let me make this a nice big map. In fact, yeah, I may as well, let's go ahead and show full screen for a sec. I'll just pull it in there. But I see, yes, we have quite a few people have shown up already. And running a live hearing test experiment, yes. If you can hear this, then there's something wrong with your hearing, because you shouldn't be able to hear anything, right? And I learned from trying to watch this show on a television set that, boy, oh boy, I've got to have the text super uber big. So this, probably even this isn't big enough, but now it doesn't fit on the page, so. Yeah, that's too big, it won't fit. So we'll go one down. And but as you see, I've got that going on where I can show this, and I can drag stuff in to place and talk about the program, and make that a little bit bigger, and pull this over here. And yes, indeed, we have some stuff going on for tonight. So, what do I have going on for tonight? Okay, let's just talk about that. Yes, I'm actually going to talk about a YouTube item that John Brown and I discovered, of a way to use multiple cameras with this YouTube live streaming thing that we're using here. And it's really cool, so I'll get into that in a second. Probably not doing a monetization idea of the week. Maybe. Joke of the week. I still don't have a joke of the week. I'm just no good at telling jokes. You know, I don't know any jokes. Well, you know, I already told in shows before. I told my chicken crossing the road joke, and well, I could get the joke of the week out of the way. I'll just tell that again. So why did the chicken cross the road? Well, to get back from last time I told this joke. Okay, wild applause. So that's why we don't use the joke of the week thing too often. So we'll do Replay City. We'll take a look at bygone shows that have already played. I've got a Pixlr trick of the week. Audio Magic. We're going to do another. We're going to do another Pixlr thing. Well, not Pixlr. I mean, we're going to do another sound on sound thing, and I'm going to show two methods of noise reduction that probably be interesting to you. I'm going to read Little Orphan Annie to you for the poetry tonight. I'm going to read another 2 chapters from the Willot Papers and get that pretty much over with. And oh, I hope no one's trying to message me. I just heard my bleeps. I don't know what's going on. What would cause that? And so yeah, storytelling. I'm going to read another thing of that. Not sure what to do about the eyes closed section this week. I had an idea of, well, I'll talk to you about one of my ideas, and we might try this thing out if I can get the Hangout thing to work, because that's still in question whether that's going to work or not. You heard the musical interludes. I'm going to do a bunch more live flute this week. I have a video tip of the week, a sound effect of the week, the free background music of the week, the sciencey item of the week, Into the Deep Zone, some philosophy maybe, A shared mind map of the week is the mind map that started that whole conceptual music thing that the music you've been hearing for the interlude music came out of. And I'm going to share some posts, and I may have a googly thing of the week if I can remember what it was I was going to talk about. Okay, so there's that. That's the agenda. Now, let me bring the thing out of the way. Take a look at these, at the comments coming in, and there we go. Yes, I was muted. Oh, people like to actually be able to hear it, huh? Golly, I never would have imagined. You know, I'm just so humble that I just don't believe anybody would actually want to hear it. I guess, yeah, that's it. No, I guess I know that's not true. And good, the sound is better than last night. We have people popping, and shortest poem ever. Please, Adam had 'em. Okay. Oh wait, I didn't do that with the proper amount of preparation. Thank you to Bill Graham for this poem of the evening called Fleas. Adam had 'em. There you go, shortest poem ever. So, okay, I like that one. Adam had 'em. All right, now. And by the way, this image up here with the blue, that was created in Pixlr. So, yes, indeed. So, okay, so I'll be watching this thing over here, sitting over here on the side, and but I suppose you probably want to have some flute stuff going on. So, why don't I go ahead and do that? I got this other mic set up. I hope it's going to work. Please type into the chat thing if it's not. If it's really bad, let me know, because it might distort, it might peak. If it does, I actually had to get on my soldering gun and fix this thing last week, so whether my fixes really took, I did some tests and it seemed to be working, but we'll soon find out. Alright, so I promised a whole bunch of flute this week, and so let's start right off with some flute. I'm going to kick in the reverb mic, which is that thing right there, and so let's do that. Hello, reverb mic. All right. Okie dokie. Here's my warm-up piece. I hope you're all warmer now. And those that didn't need to be warmed up, I'll play something cool later. So, oh wait, I thought I promised not to tell any jokes. Yes, so I'm sorry. I would say I'd be here all week, but I'm only going to be here tonight. Yes, the Sunday night fill-in guy. So, thank goodness I can play the flute anyway, once in a while. Okay, I could use some feedback, whether that was too loud or too tinny or too thin. It sounded okay to me. But anyhow, there's another little bit. Okay, now I'm going to, I would like to jump right into, and oh well, I welcome late comers. And it looks like I got the best sound yet for the flute. Oh, good, very nice, very nice. Excellent, that's always good to hear. And I always have to, of course, remember that my comments aren't going to come streaming in when I ask for feedback for 40 whole seconds. So I got to like sit still and go, okay, so do you think that I have nasal hairs showing? And, you know, then I got to wait 40 minutes for that news to come through as to whether I had nasal hairs showing and stuff. And it's nerve-wracking, but I'll stand it. Okie dokie, so what should we do next? What would be good to do next? I think telling a story would be a good idea. That's what I think. So let's do that. Let's go up here and I will plug into the Willot Papers and make it a little bit bigger, a lot bit bigger, and see if I can't bring that into the screen. Oops. There we are. Okay. Okay, so we're going to, oh, we have to go to another page. Sorry about that. We're on the wrong page. So, let's go up here. And this is the chapter called Still Not Here. Okay. Now this is picking up, of course, from the decision to go to Willot. Okay, so so here's the story, and make it a little bigger, and I think that's probably just fitting in there in that window. All right, yes it is. Let's kind of wiggle it around. There we go. Okay, all right, you ready? So. Yes, just then, a mullet faced us off in the road ahead, its hulking body surging with energy every step towards us. We greeted it with rhythmic gyrations of our hands and arms as we walked by, the older man making a circular motion with one foot as he passed. The large animal responded to this with a warm cracking of his vertebrae in its 30-foot-long spine, sending out a dancing splay of pleasant and percussive reverberations into the woods surrounding us. I was seized with a feeling of pride at being seen with the old man, when a bright green light suddenly seemed to glint out at my face from the road sign over to our right. I joggled up to the overgrowth at the side of the road to find a large green stone, the only unusual object in the area, since I had never seen a large green stone anywhere else in my lifetime until this moment. The old man walked up to me, having decided to circle both legs at the same time by now, and he took the stone from me. "Oh, well, glad you noticed this," he said, wriggling his eyebrows in such a way that I wasn't sure which thing I was being congratulated for noticing. I took a chance and responded, "Well, yes, of course," and began wriggling my eyebrows in a similar manner to show the level of my understanding. He pondered away and wandered into the road as he contemplated the stone and its implications. I was startled when he turned to me and asked, with a knitted brow, "Are you feeling any different? Are you sure you're still here?" I wasn't sure at all, for I wasn't feeling very still just then, all at once and for a time. All right, you probably can't stand it. You want me to go on to the next chapter? I'll do it. Day of Reckoning. Time! That's exactly what it felt like. It was just like feeling time, I think. But where was I? It didn't feel like much time, and yet here I was, while the old man and the trees and the green rock and the road were not. And this place in which they weren't was indeed different from the where that it was once only just a few minutes ago. Excuse me, what time is it? I asked a passerby on the street, on which I was for who knows how long, or how much longer that the street may be, in fact. I was thinking aloud. The person looked at me disdainfully, as if I had asked him how wide is something very narrow. So I asked him if he knew the date. He nodded then and pointed across the way to a large fruit stand, where many fruits stood large and small and in a great many varieties and postures. I entered briskly, asking for a calendar, for I wished to know the date. I was handed a date fruit confectionery condiment to taste, as the best way to know the date. Frustrated, I insisted that I really wished to see a calendar, for whatever reasons, as that was my own business why I would wish to see one. From the back, an older man emerged with a chef's strainer with large holes in it, which he beckoned me to look through. Putting this colander to my face obligingly, it seems they had me now, and I was dragged with the colander held to my face to a court before the town judge, in more time than I knew was happening, the view through the holes being both vague and at the same time rather interesting and, strangely, safe-feeling. "How do you stand?" asked the judge. I was standing like a carrot. The judge looked at me angrily. "It is obvious. You were arrested in a fruit stand, and yet you are standing like a carrot." He motioned to the guard. "To the Tower of Babblers!" He commanded him. I could stand what was happening, but fruits would have been better off if applied, possibly. As I was being led out, one person caught my eye with a puzzled expression in his face. Obviously, I didn't really care at all. But for some reason, "Let us discuss this matter," I pleaded. Oh, he did for some reason, yes. "Let us discuss this matter," I pleaded. "I've been misunderstood." Angry scowls reminded me I had just made matters worse. What could happen next? Nothing, I reckoned. So there you have it. Another edition of the Willot Papers story being told and read aloud by the author. So I probably should take no credit for that, because I was a completely different skeletal structure and cellular structure back then. There's a single cell left in this body of mine that was there when I wrote that thing. So maybe I shouldn't take credit at all. We give credit to a younger man who wrote that thing some time ago. Yes. However, I have written things more recently that still are things that I wrote. So I'll read one of those things to you someday. I mean, I still have atoms in my body that were there when I wrote that thing. Pretty sure. Well, anyhow, okay, so there you have it. I hope that reading was entertaining and fun. And I don't know whether I should move on to the poetry reading next, but I think I should. Yes, why do I think I should move on to the poetry reading? Well, because now I'm all psyched up for the poetry reading. That's why. All right, that's not good enough reason. You're right. I should probably take a swig of blue juice. And play another flute piece. That's what I'll do. We need a musical interlude, don't we? Okay, so let's see if the music is going to work well. And yeah, we'll just try that. We'll see if we can get the music working well. All righty. Be right there. Okay. Oh, I better sit a little bit. There we are. I don't want to knock everything over every, you know, good comedy. But... All right. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. What should I do? What would I... There we go. So these are all little short flute pieces tonight, but I'm going to give you a bunch of them, so I have a bunch of musical breaks tonight. Okay? And I'm going to keep them as mesmerizing as possible. Okay, so we should go on to the poem. The poem of the day is a poem that I learned as a child. Yes, I did. And it's a poem by James Whitcomb Riley. He was born in 1849 and died in 1916. He was a sort of a younger contemporary, older contemporary of Mark Twain, and about the same time. And he did the lecture circuit and did a whole bunch of things, and he was best known for this type of poem that was what they call a dialect piece. And dialect pieces were very popular because, as Mark Twain was inspired by the Missouri dialect and other southern and western dialects, other writers were too. And in the 1880s, 1890s, dialect writing was tops, and he was probably the top writer of that kind of thing, and definitely performer. And so I'm not going to do him any kind of justice. Oh, and thanks for all the remarks about the applause for the flute and everything. You see this? You can see the 40-second delay in action right here, can't you? So okay, so let's bring up the poem, and I am going to make an attempt to read this thing. I better probably blow it up a bit. And right, the Little Orphaned Annie. And this is, again, this is a dialect piece, so I'm going to attempt to do dialect. I'm certainly going to do James Whitcomb Riley justice, but I'll try. The main thing is I want to share the poem with you because it's really a cool poem. So, Little Orphan Annie. Oh, by the way, this was originally going to be called Little Orphan Allie, because this is actually based on an actual figure who was in James Whitcomb Riley's life. During the Civil War, his father went to the war, and they hired an orphan to come take care of the house in repayment for her room and board, and her name was Allie. And so this is based on his actual experience of little orphan Allie. But when they set the type to publish this thing, a typesetter made a mistake and made Annie, and has been Annie ever since. So that's where the name came from, Little Orphan Annie. All right. So inscribed with all faith and affection to all the little children, the happy ones and sad ones, the sober and the silent ones, the boisterous and the glad ones, the good ones, yes, the good ones too, and all the lovely bad ones. Little orphan Annies come to our house to stay, and wash the cups and saucers up, and brush the crumbs away, and shoo the chickens off the porch, and dust the hearth and sweep, and make the fire, and bake the bread, and earn her board and keep. And all us other children, when the supper things is done, we sit around the kitchen fire and has the mostest fun, a-listening to the witches' tales that Annie tells about, and the goblins'll get you if you don't watch out. Once there was a little boy who wouldn't say his prayers, and when he went to bed at night, way upstairs, his mammy heard him holler and his daddy heard him bawl. And when they turned the covers down, he wasn't there at all. And they seeked him in the rafter room and cubbyhole and press, and seeked him up the chimbley flue and everywhere, I guess. But all they ever found was this his pants and roundabout, and the goblins'll get you if you don't watch out. At one time a little girl would always laugh and grin, and make fun of everyone, and all her blood and kin. And once when they was company, and old folks was there, she mocked 'em and shocked 'em, and said she didn't care. And this as she kicked her heels, and turned to run and hide, they was two great big black things a-standing by her side. And they snatched her through the ceiling, for she knew what she's about, and the goblins'll get you if you don't watch out. And little orphan Annie says, when the blaze is blue, and the lamp wick sputters, and the wind goes woo, and you hear the crickets quit, and the moon is gray, and the lightning bugs and dew is all squenched away, you'd better mind your parents and your teachers found and dear, and cherish them that loves you, and dry the orphan's tear, and help the poor and needy ones at clusters all about, ere the goblins'll get you if you don't watch out. Now, isn't that a delightful poem? I love that poem. But I first found that poem in an old book my mother had, probably since she was a child, in my grandfather's house, in this bookcase that used to be my mother's bookcase. And who knows where she got it from, because it was dated before she was born, so it might have been my grandmother's book. But it was a collection of things for kids, and I always thought that was a perfect thing for kids. Okay, so now we got to get to the section of the program where we get more technical. Yes, indeed. Are we going to get more technical? I suppose so. I could get more technical. Oh, thank you for accolades here. There we go. Everyone likes goblins. Look at that. I'm going to be rich. Oh, good. Oh, no. Oh, Vivek, I hope you didn't hear the poem before you went to bed, because now you have bad dreams, you know, about goblins and stuff. So I didn't want that to happen. Okay, thanks, Bill. And everyone, Mark. It's a great poem. Okay. It's so cool having this comment tracker right here. All righty. Well, let's see. What else can we talk about tonight? I thought I'd share a little something about what we discovered with. Well, I'll wait on that. I'll wait on the real super techie stuff. Well, how would y'all like to see some stuff done with the Pixlr Pixlr trick of the week? I have an idea for what a Pixlr trick of the week thing could be, and so why don't I go ahead and I'll make a full screen. I'm going to bring up Pixlr. First, let me get Pixlr editor up. And there we go. Pixlr templates, I mean. So as per usual, I'm going to go to Pixlr templates first and go in here and find a, let's see, under YouTube, make a 1280 by 720. There we have it. Okie dokie. So let's go ahead and switch this to full screen, and I'll make it so you see me and the full screen capture. Oh, well, not that one. There we go. Okay. Yeah, here I am. So, little old me. And since we really don't need, let's see, let me switch the view. Let's see if I can blow things up a little bit here. No, you can't. Okay. Control-0. Oh, let's see. Let me make a zoomed in version. List me in HCC. I do have a cropped. Ah, there it is. That's the one I want. Start to close up. So let me edit this scene and move the video in there, and I'll add my camera in here so you can see me too. There you go. Oh yeah, I've seen a whole lot of me. Yeah, I've seen too much of you lately, Terry. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say. Okay, so, all right, let's get this thing in place. And we'll just enlarge this thing so that this is kind of out of the way. I would go full screen in this, but it's been breaking a lot lately. I noticed that if you if I use the make full screen option, there you go. You don't have to see that. There's a view mode over here, and here I am. Look at this. Look at this action. Let me flip the camera so when I look over here, I'm actually looking at the software. How's that sound? Yes, it's possible. I can do these things. Maybe. There we are. Ta-da! Flip. There you go. Now I'm looking out. It looks like I'm looking over here when I'm looking over there. How you like that? See? Faking everybody out. You know? I shouldn't admit it. Okay, so let's get over here and get this thing rolling. So I'm going to make a slightly larger canvas. Let's use the reset palette locations, push this over to there, make this thing that way, get it nice and big, and fill up the screen so it's actual pixels. There we are. All right, so now we're working a little bit larger where you can see what I'm working on, I guess. What I was going to try to do is I wanted to show how an image mask could work. So let's just fill this up with some black. Okay, and I'm going to get out some text, and I'm not sure if this is going to work at all. I need another layer underneath here that's a different color, and it could be any color in the world. So I'll make it red, and up. I don't want that to be red, and fill up that lower layer underneath. Oh, wrong one. Undo, and bring this under here. Oh, just highlight the right one. Come on, Terry. Highlight the right one. Here we go. Okay, paint bucket. So now you see by the little icon over here, I filled that up with red. That's all I've really done. And oh, I'm sorry, I don't have Zoom It, and I really need Zoom It for this thing. I really need Zoom It. I need to be able to zoom in on my screen. Okay, folks, you're about to find out about one of the greatest little tools. We're taking a slight digression from Pixlr for a moment to look at Zoom It. So just go to Google, type in Zoom It, ZOOMIT. Hit enter. The very top entry is going to be Zoom It by TechNet. Just click that. It's from Microsoft. It's a freebie. And so let's go to the download, Zoom It. There it is, the tiniest little file you ever saw. And just all I have to do is bring this over to the desktop. Just extract it. And we can get rid of that. Okay, so there it is. There's Zoom It up there. And I'm going to pin it to my taskbar so I have it in the future. Pin it to taskbar. There it is. And move it over here next to my camera controller. Alright, so now I'll know where it is. Now I have to assign a key break to it. So I'm going to make Control Shift Z. Now I use Control Option. Control Alt Z instead. So let's see. Oh, I'm doing the wrong. There you go. Control Alt Z. Alright, and it'll be double size. That's what it does, folks. That's what it does. It zooms in the screen, and that's all it does. Well, what? Well, it does a lot more, actually. It lets you draw on the screen and do all kinds of things. But now we've installed Zoom It, I can zoom in on any portion of the screen and zoom around and show you details and feel like I'm actually that you can actually see what's going on, especially like if you're looking on a TV set down the road. Okay, so let's now get out of text layer. I want the text layer to be up there, and I want it to be, it really can be any color at all. And I'll make it green, so it's the opposite of what I'm doing. And type in, will this text be invisible? There we go. And I'm going to make it bigger. And drag it over here. Make it bold. There you go. Drag it over there. Okie dokie. Now, yeah, I wonder if I should make this thing white. All right. So anyway, we got some text now. All righty. Now, let's bring out this thing and let's start playing around with, whoa, look at that. I can make it fade in and out. But that's not all I want to do. I wanted to see if I can make it do anything really, really fancy. So let me get this history down here. This is a text layer that I would love to be able to punch out and make a mask out of. So I think I have to convert it to raster. There we go. So there it is, rasterized layer. And I got to that. I did it again. Let's see. I got to that by right-clicking on here. And there you see it says rasterize layer. Okay? I noticed that it's cutting off some of the right side over there. But you can see it, rasterized layer. what that does is it turns the text that was it was vector graphics, and it turns it into pixels, pixel type graphics. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and rasterize the layer. Bingo. Now it is not green text on top of it's not green vector text, it's actually green pixels. So now I might be able to do some kind of neat things. I might be able to. I'm not sure if I'll be able to, but I'm going to try. And this might not be the right thing to do with. Well, let's see. Difference. There we go. So difference made it yellow. See that? Against red. Now against black, it's going to stay green. Okay, because black is all the pixels are equal to 0, so it's really not a good choice. Erase. Well, all it does is just disappear. But what would it do against black? I'm not sure. Nope, doesn't seem to be any difference. But we're just going to try out some of these things. Hard light, of course, just going to make it a stronger green. Oh, look at that, invert. I can make it inverted. I can layer it. I can do, let's see, I got to grab this and drag it down. Lighten. Okay, that's nice to know. Now you won't believe what this does on top of photographs, by the way. Oh, and there, look, multiply makes it black. So it was green, but green times red equals black, okay? And of course, if I had the black thing done, it would just be invisible because, well, to be multiplying times zeros and become 0, because anything times 0 is going to be 0. Okay, so there we have that. Overlay on green on red is the opposite color, so that doesn't work out so great. Yeah, screen makes it that way, and subtract also makes it disappear. Okay, so that's all very curious and interesting, but what did Terry actually want to show you? Okay, well, what Terry wanted to actually show you is that I can punch a hole. I can punch a hole in things by getting out my magic wand and clicking in here and selecting everything that's in this image that's in the green. Okay, so let me turn off and see if we can see our marching ants. And I should be able to. All right, and what we're going to try to do is using that, we're going to attempt to now punch a hole in this thing. So let's see if it works. All right, and it doesn't look, doesn't look like it worked. Let's try inverting it. Oh, I can't invert it from here. Okay, let me undo. You know what, I'm getting the feeling actually this would be a better choice to actually pick under edit. I can select pixels. There we go. Okay, that worked much better. Alright, so I selected all the pixels in this thing. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to invert the selection. I believe that's what I have to do. Well, we'll try making the mask. Let's try making the mask with the selected pixels right now. But we're going to try to chop a hole in this black thing here. And so what did it do? There we go. Okay, so what we did is we actually made it so the only part of the black that you see is these letters. So now I could make this into image content, or I could paint in it, or do all kinds of other things. And what I've done is I've made it so I've chopped a hole through the entire black. The only part of the black that you see is where the image is. But this is going to be more dramatic for you. If I go back a step, just select the pixels. Okay, this time invert the pixels. So you invert selection. Now it selects everything but the pixels. And now go ahead and make my mask. And so now what I've done is I've cut a hole in the black. Notice that this green text, this has been turned off, that layer. All I used it for was to be able to select the pixels in order to get it. So I created some text, I rasterized it, I selected the pixels, then I went to the layer I wanted to punch holes in, and I created with the selection, with the selected pixels. Oh, and then I inverted, right? I inverted up here, edit, invert, selection. And then I went ahead and created the little layer mask, the add layer mask thing. And that punched a hole, but it's only a virtual hole. It's not a real hole. I can actually use the paintbrush tool to make more and to remove things. See, I can remove stuff. Because basically, what did I do? I just added more holes, okay? I mean, I just removed some of the holes. So I removed some of the holes there. So let's undo this. Let's go to the eraser tool instead. This time I'll add to the holes. So I'm making some more holes. There you go, using the eraser tool. And I can click and hold shift and make a, oh, I can't anymore. All right. It used to be, oh, there we go. Okay, if you hold down shift the entire time, you can actually make straight lines out of the eraser tool. So what I've been doing is basically chopping holes in this thing and making it so, there you go. So we have transparency wherever I paint, wherever I erased from this green, wherever I erased from this mask, I was chopping holes in it, making it transparent. Wherever I paint with a paintbrush, I'm adding pixels. Wherever there are pixels, it's no longer transparent. Okay? So it's where there's pixels, not transparent. Where you take away the pixels with the eraser tool or by chopping a hole using that technique I just showed you, then you wind up with invisibility. And so anything that you put under here, it can be a photo, it can be anything, can have this text on top of it. Okay, chopping a hole in the upper layer to see the content below. All right, so I hope you put on your thinking caps and come up with some uses you may have for chopping holes in things with text. And it doesn't have to be text, it can be a shape. You can draw a shape too. They have these shape tools in here. There they are. This shape tool, similar to, let's see, I make a new layer. Okay, so similar to the, see what kind of shape do I have? I have a rectangle. So I can make a rectangle. I have the shape being filled. So then I can select pixels. I gotta hit enter, I believe. So I can select pixels and invert it. There we go. Choose something to make a hole in, because I don't even need to see this anymore, because I just need the selection. And now I've chopped a hole in this, which you can't tell because I've turned it off. But now, bingo, you see I've chopped that rectangular hole in this solid shape. Okay, so that's how you chop holes in things. And then you can embellish the holes, again, by getting out the eraser tool, which is a little counterintuitive. And you can paint colors, you know, in there. But if you're going to paint additional content, make sure the mask isn't selected, because if we put color of any kind or erase, if you erase, you're going to make more transparency. If you put any kind of color, any color, it's going to remove the transparency. So you want to switch over here to where the color is that you're affecting. And I want to, let's see, I didn't want that color. I want just green, so right here. Oh, I got the eraser. So there, I get my paintbrush out. And it's not going to show, it's not, wherever the mask is. Oh darn, here we are. Click again, you have to hold the shift down the whole time for doing this. So every click's got to be a shift. You can't click and then hold shift and do it the way this straight line thing is. So there I am putting a little frame around my thing in green, okay? Nifty or what? So, there you have it. That's today's Pixlr trick. Alrighty, so, ta-da! What can I say? What can I say? I'm just so full of these things. Alright, everybody likes the zooming app. Punching holes and stuff, maybe not so thrilling, but you see, it's really not so hard. And I want you to all have a practical use for that Pixlr mask tool, because it's just with a click of the button. You make that selection, invert the selection, hit the mask tool, bingo, you've cut a hole in whatever it is, and it's non-destructive. You can always get rid of the hole that you cut. In fact, I didn't really show that, did I? But it is non-destructive entirely. Here I've got this hole here. We'll show this one again. So even though I cut this hole in there, I can always disable the mask, and see, I can apply it and make it permanent. Now, if I apply it, it's no longer non-destructive. The minute I do that, it's permanent. But I can delete this layer mask so it doesn't even exist, and all I have is my black again. Okay, and or I can go in and I can simply use the paintbrush tool and get a bigger brush, and wherever I paint with this big brush, there you go. I've gotten rid of the holes. So that's how I get rid of holes. Holes that I didn't want. So you see, because I didn't want the whole thing. Yeah, I did say it. Yes, I said it. I said it. Okay. Didn't want the whole thing. I said it. Somebody write it down. Don't timestamp it, please. Okay, so now imagine we wanted to put a gradient behind this thing. Wouldn't that be cool? So let's turn this thing off. Let's make a new layer. You know, I can't stop myself now. I'm just going wild. So I'm going to move this layer underneath here. I'm going to get out the gradient tool. I'm going to pick out a rainbow of some kind. This looks good. And I'm going to drag through here. Oh, I gotta drag it again. There we are. I had to wait. And there you have it. Rainbow text. Instant rainbow text. Shades of 1998. Websites galore. Everybody was using that rainbow text trick. I remember I had some kind of plug-in that created rainbow text in my forum. Everybody used it. Oh, that's going back before internet. That's going back to the bulletin board days. Good grief. So we're talking 80s. This guy, rainbow text. Oh boy. All right, so now you know how to make rainbow text. You notice all it is. I made a layer behind. It's got the rainbow, and a layer in front. It's got the hole punched in it. Okay. So so you can see through one layer into the layer behind it. There you have it. There's your wonderful thing. Okay. So that's what he's talking about. Okay. So what do we do now? Oh my gosh, we've done so much already. We should have a musical interlude, shouldn't we? Yes, a musical interlude. It's time for that. So let me pull this thing out of the way. You can all read comments as they're flowing in. Here we are. Okay, so, all right. I hope that I didn't dwell too much on that Pixlr stuff, but I know some of you just love that stuff, and so I'm glad I could share that anyway. All right, let's switch over. Geez, what am I going to play? Gee, I don't know what to play. I'll find something. Okay. Okie dokie. Hey, half the fun is watching me move the chair, right? Oh, look at that. Well, you got to watch it with little old me and the big, gigantic comment tracker this time. But good. The audio settings tonight are perfect. Well, this is super to know because we worked quite a bit on this. Thank you, Mark, for helping me so much with that. Mark got on and a hangout with me, and we spent quite a bit of time realizing that I had a lot of levels turned up a bit hot, especially for hangouts on air and for live streaming apparently as well. And so we've got everything cranked way down so that the peaks don't ever go anywhere near 0 dB. They all stay way low. And that's a good thing. All right. So, all righty. Okay. Yeah, I saw a cute cartoon, by the way. I know I don't do jokes, but I call it a cute cartoon. It showed it showed a mother witch and a little witch, a small little girl witch, and she's holding an ice cream cone and looking at it and going, "It's melting." It's the Wicked Witch of the West at the age 7. It's melting. All right, so that's it. Anyway, yes, that was the first vigorous selection. Vigorous selection, whatever. As if I selected this out of a book of, etudes or something. But no, yes, that was a vigorous piece. Yeah, a little bit more vigorous. Well, I don't want everything to be relaxing and putting you to sleep. I want some energetic pieces. So, yeah, the only thing I don't think you'll ever get out of me is, I don't know, forget that statement. I just remembered how unpredictable I can be. All right, so now what can we talk about? Let's see. At least I do know that it's still streaming because people are still reacting, still responding. So, okay, so we got some applause and bravo and nailed it. Audio settings are good. Well, you guys already see this, of course. And, yeah, thanks a lot, everybody, for your comments and stuff. I've got them right in front of me, and so I see it pop up, and it's really good. Even though it's 40 seconds after whatever I've done. So I have no idea what the context is that you're talking about. It's like, I say something, all of a sudden this thing pops up and says, "Oh, that was great." And I realize it had nothing to do with what I just said. It's whatever I said long ago, already a distant memory. And that'll get even worse as I get older, I suppose. But, so anyway, let's talk about something else we can do. Okay, I guess it's time. Let me go find the video that we worked on, John and I. Okay, so let me go to YouTube, and I'll show you. I'm going to try to show you what happened when the live events thing. Well, first of all, I guess I'll just show you my live events page. I'll go into my Creator Studio and Video Manager here. I already have it open somewhere else, but you see we did a test event. Well, I'll get to that. Oh. So what events? Live events. Okay, so in live events, live now, there we are. Oops, that's not what I wanted to hit. Stop it. Good thing this is not the computer I'm encoding on, or you would see all kinds of jerks. So as you see, you got stop streaming, status good, all this kind of good stuff. But as I get started, when I create the event, and I'm in the ingestion settings in here, before I start the event, it doesn't show it in here. Okay, I thought it might. Ingestion settings are no longer editable. Thumbnail can still be changed. That's it. All right, well, before I actually start the stream, yep, that's what it is. In this screen is the ability to add cameras. So I can add camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, okay? And so let me see if I can bring up a video that shows this, this being done. So we have event camera number 1. Let's see, is that the one that's going to show it? I just wanted to quickly show you what the actual video ends up looking like. And John Brown is in this picture. You see up here, oh look, it's working. 2 cameras. Oh yes. Okay, I hope you're seeing this. This wasn't there last night when we did this. It didn't have the ability to switch cameras in the YouTube thing, but I guess it hadn't finished processing. But when you use multiple cameras, it gives the user the ability up here at the top where it says use currently watching main camera right now. It gives the user the ability to switch cameras. And I'm seeing this as something I could easily show musicians how to set up an OBS and a stream. And all the person setting up the show has to do is send them this, oh gosh, let me go ahead back into Creative Studio and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Open it in a new tab. Okay, so Video Manager, Live Events, and I can't edit it. Oh darn, I hit that wrong one again. Here we go, hit Edit. Ingestion settings. So all you have to do is go down here where it says configure your recorder, copy and paste this in your recorder. So you just simply make the second camera, you create the second camera, and you copy this text from here. Okay, stream name. That's all you need. And they paste it into their copy of OBS and start their stream. They just say start stream in the encoding software, and this thing finds inside, because they already will have selected the YouTube server. Okay, you don't have to paste that stuff in because you just select that in OBS from a drop down. So you just have to go to where the little stream key thing is and paste that in. And right here, I'll just bring it, may as well bring it up and show you. You go to settings, encoding, broadcast settings, and this is, make sure you're in live stream. And streaming service, you would pick YouTube. Hope that's showing. See, you would pick YouTube. And then it already selects this. You paste that key into there. And so again, let's go get that key, because I didn't bother, here I am right there, and I didn't bother copying it. So copy. Okay, so I would go in here, I would paste that in there. That's it, we're done. The only one other setting you got to do is in advanced, yeah, save and apply changes, is that you've got to make the keyframe interval 2 for YouTube. It's just the way YouTube works. And then you would just go into OBS, and you can send people a setup so you have these scenes and sources, but they can I could easily make a video that shows them how to create a scene. You just right click on it, say add scene, and then when you have a scene, you see each scene can have different setups of sources. So in this one I have the live cam cinema, I've got the monitor capture, all that kind of stuff. So so yeah, so if you preview this particular stream, it's going to show you the monitor itself and this mess and my crummy live cam thing. But anyway, I hope you get the idea that this is not a hard thing to show people how to do. Create a couple of scenes. Really, all they need is their camera. They need to go into settings. They would need their camera in there. So actually, this is not a good idea, but well, I'll go ahead and make a scene. So add a scene. My scene. And then I would right click. I would go add, and I would add my camera. So it's called a video capture device. Let's call it video capture device. I would make it my camera, in this case a live cam cinema, and I would say disable the audio device because I don't want to use the webcam's audio. I'd put that there. Then I'd go to settings. See, now I already have my camera in there. I would go to audio. I would set this to my microphone input, whatever it is. It could be line in, it could be a USB mic, it could be a voice meter, you know, or it could be your USB interface, like I have the USB interface that I use. So you could use voice meter for this too. Then I would set the desktop audio to something that you're not using. But you can use desktop audio and bring in a Skype call and stuff like that. You just tell it to use the default device or any of these devices that are in the list. Speakers, for instance. Send your Skype call to speakers or you know, headphones, and it would pick it up so that you could get the Skype call or a Hangout on air, because we are in Google Plus. And so anyhow, you get the idea. This is super simple. Get the audio. Set the video to what size you want, you know, go full size, why not, or 720. You drop this down to the 1280 by 720 if you don't have a great upload speed. But either way, you're already talking where you've got instantly the capability of doing audio streams. You've pasted in that link that I sent you, and you hit start streaming, and so when I go into the live control room, what I see is I see two of these. I would see my camera and my OBS, and I would see your camera and your OBS right here in a stream. And you can have up to 6 cameras. So that's up to 6 musicians that can be all set up and in the queue waiting to go. And then the people visiting the show, there's Mark. See, I told you he helped me with this. There's evidence. But now, and there's John. So you have these 2 cameras are going simultaneously, and the user can switch between them. So you can have 6 cameras up here with a queue of people waiting to perform, and all you have to do is say, okay, well now go to camera 3. You know, Ellie's about to play, so switch to camera 3, you know, or switch to camera 2. And, or it can be, you know, so that's really a simple thing to set up. And what we did as some demo type of thing. I mean, this is just crazy cool in my opinion, because I could even have a picture-in-picture like I did here. See down here see down there, you see John? That's actually this camera. I ran it in a separate tab, I grabbed it in OBS, and I put it picture-in-picture inside of camera 1, so you could see that you know, and this could be down here in the corner, so you could see the musician that's queuing up or tuning or getting ready to go. And so you could do that with all of them. You could really make all of the musicians visible by making these little thumbnails, stream them across, or you can just have their names up here, so when you hover over, you see who's in each camera. All right, so that's the big video. Wow, we finally found out how this thing works, and it gives the user control over switching cameras. And when I go into my, and let's stop that. When I go into my YouTube video manager and look at my videos, what we had was, yeah, see here's test event, camera one, and was made its own video. So let's see what that looks like. So it's camera one. So I wound up with 2 videos, but then overnight, YouTube combined these 2 videos so that I had the 2 choices of which, you know, they made it so it was easily switchable. All right, isn't that awesome? I mean, that is awesome. 6 cameras can be selected and made into one of these live event shows like you're seeing me do right now, and have the viewer. Now this only works on YouTube. We tried it on an event page and it didn't work. The event page would have to have some kind of instruction telling people to go view it on YouTube, and do their commenting in there, I suppose. But I can stand that, you know. All the comments end up in YouTube anyway, even if they're in the event page and stuff. So, or you could have the event page, people commenting in there for event tracker purposes, but they're watching the video in a separate window. So you could have them open the video in a separate window and watch it. And you know how to watch video in a separate window is if you're on an event page, just click on the little YouTube symbol down here in the lower left, and you're good. Okay? So, well, to illustrate, like in this event, if I started this thing, there you go, I would click on the YouTube link right there, and I could hold down Control when I clicked on it, and that would open a separate tab. And so now I could remove that tab so I could still see the video here and my comment stream there. Okay, just split my screen up. Okay, isn't that awesome? So that's the story, Maury. That's what I was trying to say. All right, so I've got my video playing, and I got my comment stream coming in. And oh, by the way, you just hold down, if you want to split the screen perfectly, you hold down the Windows key with a window selected, push the right arrow, and oops, that's the wrong one, wrong computer. Okay, select this thing, Windows key, right key, there you go. And you see it makes that hug the right side. Then I select the next one, hold down the Windows key, and that's between the Alt and Control keys, or Alt function or whatever, with the Windows key. And you hit the left key, and it does that. So you have one on one side and the other on the other side. That's how you quickly split a screen, any screen. Split a screen, any screen. It sounds like a card shark now. Okay, so there you have it. All right, so let's go back to the videotape. We're on the videotape. What am I talking about? Let's try out a different view. And yeah, okay, great. Oh, but now I look over there and look, I'm looking away from the screen. What can I do? I think what I'll do is I'll pull out properties and I'll switch the flip it. There we go. Isn't that fast? Isn't that fancy? Now I'm looking over there again. See? I just amuse myself so easily. Well, all right, so nonetheless, and all the more, what can I say? We have this going on, and so let's go back to, so we're viewing just that and the cropped screen. That way we can blow things up a little bit more. I don't mean, you know, explode them. I mean blow up this so you can see the. And by the way, the minute I pulled away, it went back to the rectangle that I was in before. Okay, so even though I did have it hugging that left side, now it's different. Okay, so there you go. There's some tech. Now I'm going to have to mellow out your brains, because I know the tech stuff can be rather heady. Yes, indeed. So I need a sip of blue juice. And this time what I'm going to do is I am going to, everybody that watched the show when I did the deep relaxation technique, I would like you to exercise your deep relaxation technique right now, and I will play music for you to I amused myself, made me laugh out loud. Thanks, Sheila. I will play some musical, quiet meditation music, okay? And but I'm going to make a black screen, so this kind of forces everybody to close their eyes. And I love this because people are going to come into the show and they're going to, quickly hit fast forward and see this black screen and not know what the heck's going on. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a black screen so you can't be watching me. And so the trick, if you remember from last week, is that you gave yourself a suggestion. And all you had to do was say deep relaxation and take 3 deep breaths, and you would return to that very, very deep state of relaxation that you had practiced, okay? So we're going to practice that now with me playing the flute. So remember, you just simply close your eyes, you say deep relaxation, and take 3 deep breaths, and let yourself drop in. And then take another deep breath and let yourself relax even more. All right? So that's what we're going to go for. So let me switch over to the black screen, and I'll switch the audio over. There you go. Hope that was meditative enough and worth turning off the lights for. Now listen, if anybody started lighting incense while I'm playing, I kind of resent that, alright? Because, alright, I used to do that as a kid, okay. But, you're getting a little old for this. Yeah. Well, maybe not. Okay, well, that was your flute interlude for meditating and zoning out. And I hope that it did make you zone out just a little bit, do some deep relaxation. if we have people who want me to do the deep relaxation exercise again, well, you know, I mean, everyone else already did. No, I'll do it again, or maybe I'll even do one better, and I'll record a track and I'll put it up where it's very easy to find, so that you can play it as an MP3 perhaps. The thing is that once you've heard the deep relaxation exercise and you've gone through it and gotten into that deep state and given yourself the suggestion to be able to return to it quickly and easily with saying deep relaxation and taking 3 deep breaths, then you don't need to run through the whole rigmarole again after that. So just have confidence that you don't. Okay. All right, but I really take requests. Anybody that wants me to redo the deep relaxation technique, I'll do a video where I have that, and I'll have that available on my YouTube channel. That should do that anyway. Okay, cool. Well, let's see. Oh, look at that! I'm a real professional on the flute. I'm in control of my breathing. That's not actually me doing the breathing. I have somebody over here. Thanks a lot, Charlie. And he does all the breathing for me. He's a much better breather than I am. So, however, yeah, it's a wind instrument. What do you expect? You should see how I control my breath when I'm playing keyboards. Ha ha! It's incredible. Oh, the results are even more amazing than my flute playing. So I promise that next. Okay. Well, okay, so what are we going to do now? Huh? What are we going to do now? I mean, good grief. We have some relaxed people out there. Oh, yeah, relax now. Okay. Thank you, Christy. I like it. Lovely. Very relaxed now. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So, yeah, I can make it a little bit bigger, can't I? Here we are. Okay, let's break out the list of things that I was going to do. And there we are. Okay. Well, yes, I was thinking of showing off some more Audacity types of things. So Audacity, we did Audacity harmonies last week. Okay. And it gave me an idea. How's this for an idea? Crazy idea? Yes, a mad idea? An insane idea, perhaps. But that's what I'm into. Yeah. Let me keep pushing the wrong keys here. Let me see if I can make this this bigger. Let's see. Oh, I gotta get over here. There it is. I'm gonna try to make that text bigger. Oh no, it's already as big as it gets. Okay. All right. Well, anyhow, so we had the "What Is the Matter" tune. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people have wanted to do jams on Hangouts, okay? And you can't because there's this huge delay. It's not a 40-second delay like we're experiencing now, but if you wanted to do it in Hangout on Air, you know, then there's going to be a delay that prohibits the ability to be having any rhythm instruments or drums or anything like that. You just can't do it because you may be hearing doom tapa doo tapa doom tapa doom, right? And so you're playing along with it, boom, and but unfortunately the sync breaks. So the other person on the other end is going, no, you're not playing along with me. You know, you're missing my beats because they're hearing you come in delayed. And so it's really impossible to get a jam session going on that has any kind of rhythm in it at all. The only things you can normally get away with are extreme, where one person plays these really legato chord changes, you know, where super slow chord changes or transitions, with the other person soloing over the top of that. Now that's possible. You can do a jam like that, and I would love to do a jam with somebody like that. And a few people I'd like to hook up with to get to do that. Maybe Cecily Link, for instance, like her electronics. She's got a keyboard. And we could do that back and forth because I could do the legato chords and she could be playing the lead. Same thing with any keyboardist that could do that with any guitarists that want to play the leads, or any lead instrument can do it as long as there's somebody who's doing legato chords, but they can't be rhythmic chords. That's the problem, because the out of syncness of it makes it so that there's no way you're ever going to sound right to each other. However, there is a way, using Audacity or using voice meters, the voice meter Pro version of Banana. You can bypass even having to use Audacity. But the idea is the first musician plays a part, the other person records that from the Hangout, right, into Audacity. Then the other musician plays back their audio track, their Audacity track, and creates a new track, and they're basically playing along with the recording. Well, it's all going to sound correct to everybody because they're hearing everything simultaneous. But the other musician is recording what they're hearing. So the other musician then plays along with that recording that the first musician is recording that into their Audacity, see? So the first musician is now recording what the second musician's just riffed around with his stuff. And you just do it back and forth, making recordings, riffing along with the recordings, and then playing it back. So you're having the person recording it while you're riffing along with the recording on that end. You can go back and forth. Now, one really cool about the Voice Meter Pro thing is that it has this cassette deck built in, okay? That cassette deck is just like a cassette deck. In fact, it's so funny because he even has it when you hit rewind, the little wheels inside of here, they actually turn just like a cassette turns on rewind, and with the little wiggliness and wobbliness the cassettes have. It's not even a perfect spin. Anyway, so you hit the record button here, and you can record any of the tracks that you want to. You simply right-click on this thing and select which one of these inputs you want to be grabbing from. So you can just deselect everything else except your microphone and the virtual input, which would be the input coming in from the HOA, okay? So you can just select those two as your playback device, the things you're going to record. That's what you're arming. And it's going to get a pre-fader, so it's not going to get it with any effects or anything, or volume changes, so the volume sliders don't work. It just records straight in, okay? So your mic straight in and the other thing straight in. So then you would hit record, and it'll record those two, and you're playing, and the other. Well, actually, all you'd want to do is record the other person playing, so you wouldn't even arm both of them. You would just initially, you would just arm one. You'd record their thing. And then you'd play back the tape after you've recorded their thing, and you would just play back the tape and jam with it into your mic out to the HOA, and they're going to hear both because you send it out to the thing by putting the B. The B is the broadcast, A's are audition, B is broadcast. So you make sure the B is going back out to that HOA. So at your playback, you hit play, and bingo, you're playing out into the Hangout in studio mode, okay? And they're recording on their voice meter thing and recording now two tracks, and they jam along with it, and you getting the idea? Isn't this cool? And they're jamming along with it and recording it, and then they play back, and they're playing it back and jamming with it while you're recording, and then you play it back and you're jamming along with the playback, and while they're recording back and forth, and you wind up building up these layers of sound. Now, it's not going to sound all mixed and beautiful, probably, but you could get a little fancy with this thing and start doing post-fader outputs and capturing different inputs and doing all kinds of fancy things with this that go beyond the scope of this conversation. However, what an idea. This is something I've always dreamt of, is letting musicians be able to jam together, and so that's a solution that I thought of. Okay, so now you have a solution that is a crazy, wild solution. So any musicians that want to try this out, I'm all game for hooking up with some musicians to try out two things: the YouTube live streaming multi-camera deal and the recording the jam session type deal on an HOA. And remember, you can have all these other people watching you two doing your little spar back and forth. Now, it's not not immediate live, because somebody's got to start out things by playing a rhythm track and, you know, or doing the drums or something. But right away it becomes a jam session because you're always playing along with somebody except for that first track. It's only that first track that you're not playing along with somebody. And in all the subsequent tracks, you are playing along with somebody. And you're playing along with more and more somebodies because you're layering tracks on top of each other. You can, so, you know, just add your layers, lay your vocal tracks down, lay harmony tracks down. Oh gosh, this could be totally crazy, couldn't it? All right, so any musicians want to fool around with that stuff? That's I'm game to give it a try. Already got. We're not going to do the keyboard thing tonight, but I do have my keyboards hooked up to the system. It's just I didn't have time to like select some patches and get really ready to. I wanted to have a camera in the other room so when I was playing, you could actually watch me play, or bring keyboards in here, which is another whole, that, you know, huge hall. But I might do that too. So next week, why don't I just go ahead and commit? Next week I will have keyboards. There will be a keyboard segment. Okay. All right. So that's my music tech talk thing to do with Audacity and recording and all that kind of stuff. Gee, what should I do then? Well, let me see. Make sure everything's. Nobody's reported anything having troubles with the show so far, so this is good. Good news. All right, so let's do another musical performance. I'm going to keep this one. This one's going to be kind of on the experimental sounding level of things. I'm not going to just do all melodic. I already got you all relaxed. Now I got to jar you back up again. So, but I'm going to try something that's a little more modern. We'll see if I can hold up to it. Who knows? I might. Okay, and I won't blank out things, but I will give you a different look of what to look at instead of looking at this. Look at the comment stream coming through with me playing. So if I can find my mouse, there is my mouse. Come on. Oh, wrong keyboard. Yeah, this happens a lot. All right. Yep. There we go. And what the heck? Let's go ahead. I'm in videos. Let me go to my videos and find. I'm sorry, I wasn't ready. I wanted to give you a psychedelic background, so that's what I'm looking for. Looking for some psychedelic backgrounds. Ah, there we are. All right, so you're not going to hear the sound from this, but I'm going to make it full screen. And there we are. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Okie dokie. I didn't even know those keys were on the flute. So, there you have it. Okay, I hope you found that nice and relaxing. I was, you know, little dissonance and stuff. Not really, but just different scales. But that's always fun to do that kind of stuff. I love fooling around with different scales. So let's go back to, let's see, back to cropped thing, and yes, I can get rid of this part. But isn't that fun though? Having, just all I was doing is playing another video in the background. So we have, oh hey JD, okay, all right, ta-da, 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 ta-da. All right, well I hope this thing is still working, everything's still functioning, and we're rolling right along. Thank goodness I brought some blue juice, that's all I can say, because I'd be in big trouble with everybody that watches this show if I didn't have blue juice. Okay, so what are we going to talk about next? Oh my gosh. And yes, I'm not going to do the drum stylings with vocal harmonies and rhythm sections and leads this week because I wanted to practice a little bit. But I did want to show you two things on Audacity with noise reduction. Now that we've discussed some things, use the noise removal tool, not full strength, and use the high pass filter to roll off air conditioner noise. What is he talking about? Okay, so let's bring up Audacity, and there you go. And I'm going to have to go full screen with this so that you can see full screen. There we go. And oh yes, I've got to I got to do the mirror thing again. There we go. See, why don't I just decide which side I'm going to stand on and leave it alone already, right? Okay, so Audacity, here we go. I don't have a file to bring in here. Oh gosh, let's bring in something recent. Recent files. Oh yes. What is the matter with its Flute Funk Jungle thing ending? And you may remember this thing from last week. Let's see if it plays back if without distorting. I think I've got to turn down.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is the matter with the Flute Funk Jungle thing ending? Arpeggio flutters, drum solos the riser, roll into ending with drum solo and jungle thing too. Violin shruins, the guitar rocks, and all that too.
Okay, so there you have a track. All right. So let's rewind. Now you'll see this little fuzzy wuzzy stuff in here. You see all that fuzz that's at the beginning of the tracks? That is noise. Okay, I can zoom in and show you even more closely. Well, you can see it's noise. Okay, so let's just zoom back out again. Okay, so I'll zoom in. This is noise that is hiss. Okay, and I don't know if you can hear this hiss in your, when I play back. Yeah, I hear a little. But usually you want to get rid of this hiss. Okay, most people say, oh, I can't stand the hiss, and it drives them crazy, and they get all depressed, and they will never record again. All kinds of mood swings people go through. So what you do is you select a bit of silence. Okay, so let's find a section that has a nice long silence. And what this is just, this noise is just the air molecules that are in, literally, the air molecules knocking against each other in the room. Okay, your second law of thermodynamics, nothing stays still. Well, forget entropy lessons, okay? We just want to we want to select a few seconds of this silence that we got. So we get the longest selection of silence. And then we go up here to Effect and go to Noise Reduction. And you say Get Noise Profile, and it grabs that selection that you had made. Okay? So now I can select the whole thing with Control A and selecting all the files, and I can apply this effect. So now we go and select noise reduction again, and we have a noise profile, and we're doing 12 dB of noise reduction. Okay, and you can preview it, see if you're getting any, you know, how much silence you're getting. It prepares the preview and it plays it.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is the matter with...
And basically you just go, oh my gosh, it's so silent now. I don't believe it. And so the point is, look, I'm noise reducing by 12 dB. I could actually go even less, okay? But 12 dB is comfortable, and that reduces it. It does not eliminate it. If I wanted to eliminate, I would go 24, minus 24. Some people really hit this thing hard. I could just do a little minus 6. And what that means is it's turning down the volume by a factor of, you know, minus 6. As you see on your volume controls, it goes by those decimal numbers from 0 at the top, and everything's minus underneath that, because you're always, 0 is full volume, full blast, okay? And then your minus 12 is less than full blast. So what we're doing is reducing the amount of level of this, just the noise. And what it tries to do, since we got that noise profile, is it tries to go through and find where that noise was. Okay? So then you hit OK, and you wait a second, and it does a reducing noise thing, and you take a look at this, and if it actually is successful, then because it's doing it to all the tracks. Let's see if it takes its time. But what's going to happen is you're just going to see basically a flat line. You don't see the little wriggles, just very little of the wriggles. So let's play it.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is the matter with the flute funk jungle thing ending? Arpeggio flutters, drum solos the riser, roll into ending with drum solo and jungle thing too. Arpeggio wins, the guitar rocks, and all that too.
It's so melodious. Anyway, as you see, we reduced a bunch of the noise. Okay, so that's what most people do with the noise reduction thing. And if you don't like the effect, a lot of times people hit too hard, they try for that 24, and they get this watery, icky, strange, surreal sound in their actual music or even speaking voice. Sounds like they're underwater, or that, yeah, it sounds like they're underwater, and the water's running in the background. It's because the noise wasn't pure enough, for starters. It's got to be just like consistent, solid, constant noise. It can't have any little peaks and bangs and noises in it. It's got to be like an air conditioner that's constant, or a fan, or a motor that's running all the time in the background. It's got to be constant. It can't be anything else. And so the selection you make has got to be just that constant thing. And then it tries to find that and eliminate it, but it's always going to create some artifacts in the original, okay? And if you hit it too hard, the artifacts become very noisy, very noticeable as that underwater gurgly weird sound. So that's why I do at the most the minus 12 drop. I could do minus 6 and probably be happy. Having a little bit of background noise is not a negative thing. A lot of people think it is. What it's not. Now, if I were to edit out something, one way of editing stuff, like say I want to get rid of this hand clap, it's to select that section, and there's this little icon up here, where is it? Trim, silence, right here, silence audio. I don't know if this will zoom in on that. Yes, there you go. Silence audio. So you click that, and what it does is it goes, and it makes that a straight line. But you notice I didn't make this a totally straight line. There's still a little bit of ambience. So what's going to happen is you're going to hear this little bit of hiss, regular room hiss, room noise, and then it suddenly drops to total silence, to nothing. And that's like noticeable, especially with headphones. You really notice if there's no other stuff going around, if it's just a recording of you talking or something, and you go through and you take out all your coughs and stuff by using that silence thing, you really notice that it suddenly just drops to silence. This gunk, you know, it's this eerie silence thing that happens. So instead, a better way to get rid of things is to make, stop that, is to make a little selection. Holding down the shift, you just make a little selection and you right click on it, and or go up. For some reason my right click is not functioning. Alright, so I'll go up here and edit, and I say copy. Okay, and then I take and I go over this and I do a paste, but not just any old paste. I want to do a well, I'll just do a regular paste. Let's see what happens. And you see it changed the length of the thing because the length of that thing was not the same. So what you have to do is you have to go inside of preferences, and now I'm going to forget where on earth the preferences is for that. Let me just find this thing. Da, 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 da. Oh, well, preferences. Here we are, and you go into here, and I am going to now forget where the heck this is. And yes, I am. I'm sorry. Ah, I thought I had my head wrapped around this thing, and now I realized, oh no, you don't. Okay, when we have playthrough quality, oh, I'll have to find this thing and do an addendum. I'll do an addendum to this video, but there's a place where you set it so that when you paste, it doesn't change the length of the thing. Okay, it just changes the, just overlays the track. So I will find where the heck I put that, where that is. Now I'm not remembering where it is. And it's probably a menu item anyway. Probably not even thinking right. All right, pay no attention to that, man. The idea is, once we find out where the heck it is, it's just a better thing than to go to total silence, than to then it's better to go, than going to total silence, to paste in a little bit of the ambience over the thing. And if you so we'll just have to figure out where the heck that thing is for making sure that it doesn't change the length. Okay, because I obviously don't want to paste here and have the length shrink like that. There's no way I want that. That's not the result you want. But there is a way of making this thing work. Okay, I will find it and I will share it later on. Okay, so, but that's my basic gist for that. The other thing, though, I wanted to show you is that when you're doing recordings like at a common malady is that people do recordings in hotel rented halls, and they have the air conditioning running, and you can't get them to turn off the air conditioning because everybody would swelter and melt, and they hate, you know, cleaning up the mess of melted people all over the floor and everything. It's worse than chocolate. So so you go into the effect and you find the thing called the high pass filter. Okay, and it's not up here at the top. It's you have to go down a ways, and all these filters come with this program. But a high pass filter does like it says, it only passes high frequencies. So you set the cutoff frequency, you wouldn't have to have it at 1,000. You would set it low where the rumble is, okay? And so say around 200 or so, 250 or 160, a lot of rumble down there. I would even go 250 or so. 321's fine. And I would then do a radical drop on the rumble and only let stuff that's higher than this number come through. And you can do a preview, and it does it, shows you
1, 2,
the effect.
3, 4. What is the matter with?
And you see, to me, that's too, it's not enough the low, so I would really want a more like 200 or 150, and just preview it. Because if it's taking out all the low, you don't want to get rid of all the low.
1, 2, 3, 4. What is the matter with?
Yeah, that's tolerable. So once you select that, then you just have everything selected, and you go ahead and say OK, and bingo, it's amazing. All that rumble just disappears because it's all like super low frequency stuff. The hissing part you can handle with the regular noise removal I already showed you. But that low rumble, this is the way to kill that off and get rid of it. And bingo, all of a sudden your conference recording where you had your little recorder set on the podium in front of you, and here's this darn rumble has destroyed the whole tape. This is how you rescue it. Okay? All right, so there you have it. Let's go ahead and quit this without saving. There we are. Okay. So that's your Audacity tip of the week. And anybody that's ever spoken in a conference room, wow, let me tell you, that is the biggest nightmare when you get home with your tape and it's like this noise in the background. Drive you crazy. And you think, oh, I could never get rid of this. And you try just a regular noise reduction, and it, because of that low frequency noise that of the rumble of the noise, because the rumble is not really consistent, it's real. The noise reduction messes up the sound of your voice, and you get all those artifacts and sounding like you're underwater. Whereas if you just use that the high pass filter and roll off the lows so they don't even come into play anymore, they're gone. Bingo, problem solved. So that's your tip, audio tip of the day. Okay, so all right, so having regaled you with audio amazingness. Let's do another music interlude. How about that? Is it time for, well, I should really ask. Is it time for another musical interlude? That's what we need. And yes, everybody tries to get my Blue Juice thing. But, hey Eileen, how you doing? Let me switch my my cameras. Yeah, let me know. Is this time for a musical interlude? I need a yes, a no. You can even say, play something, you know, that sounds like Debussy, or I don't know what, you know. Remember, I just make up as I go along. Oh, make up as I go along. That's a big part of what I wanted to show you next. Yes, indeed. And, oh, look at this action, by the way. Oh, look at this action. Do you see this over here? This is tonight's show right now, I believe. And, yep, this is. Do you see what I'm seeing? This is the new comment tracker in the YouTube page. And apparently, Ron discovered that it works in mobile now. It didn't used to work in mobile. I can't blow it up. It's as big as it gets. The Control Plus thing doesn't work to blow it up. But yeah, look at this action. This is like, yeah, see, look at this. So we had a few people make some comments. So that's awesome. Aha! Pleasantly surprised to find live chat. Yes, I'm pleasantly surprised to find it too. I wish I'd had the presence of mind to keep track of it. I wasn't watching it. But yeah, there it is. It works, folks. That's awesome. So let's see if I can shrink this down. No, if I shrink the darn window, the live chat goes underneath. Well, let's see if I can shrink the window anyway. Scroll down. Yeah, there it is. So I can do that. Good. I can shrink the window down. So I'm just showing the live chat. Ah, great. That's good. And this is without using comment tracker or anything. You know, just showing a window that I've edited. Okay. So good. I found your other comments. Casting it to the smart TV yet? Oh wow. All right. So. So that's cool, huh? So now this works in mobile. That's really, really awesome. Good to know. Good to know. Well, all right. So just really super duper. They just keep improving this tool. And oh my gosh, it's time for a musical interlude. How about something Elvish? Golly, what the heck is Elvish? Oh yeah. No, I get copyright hit for doing anything by Elvish Presley. Even though he is a relative of mine. All things being relative, of course. It's an elf joke, because we actually believe we're relative. Everything's our relative. You see rocks and things. You know. All right, I'll get out of the polyanimism thing. So, all right. So I'll try something Elvish. Gosh, what's Elvish sound like? Let me just think for a second. I'll bring up a background. Here we go. And I'll change the cameras. Yes, indeed. Back to that again. And we'll attempt something Elvish. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to attempt something Elvish. Wish me luck. All right, let's see. Yeah, maybe in that key. Maybe. Well, I like that motif. I'm going to try that again. Get my headphones back in. Stretched too far from the wires, and I pulled it right out. There we go. Alrighty, there we go. Get in there. I got those in-ear headphones on, so not so obtrusive. Okie dokie. And alright, so we have that going on. Let's get this thing out of the way. I see I didn't, what, did it reach the end, or I didn't turn it on. Oh well. You had a background. That's all we care about. There was a background. Okay, so let's get this thing shrunk down. Glook. And pulled out of the way. There we go. Well, that's something you could clog to. Oh my gosh. I'm going to stop up a sink with that sucker. I tell you. Yeah, medieval times. Yeah. Okay, so here's the comments over on YouTube. Yes, indeed. See? We did get these comments going on. That's really awesome. Look at that. These guys are still talking away. Got any Coltrane, she asks. Oh, yes, I do. You bet I do. You know how much you can make a flute sound like a saxophone. It's just incredible. So I do it all the time. All right, so let me switch. Okay, I'm back to this thing. I got to switch the camera. I can't have this. I can't have this where I'm looking over here, looking over the edge. Oh, by the way, hey, hi, how you doing? Anybody coming over here? Oops. Okay, at least I'm back in this room now. Okay. Hi. All right. Now I have to go way over here to do that effect. Hi. Well, so yes, we have comment tracker action. I wish it was enlargeable, but it can't be enlarged. I could do a trick. I could do a trick in the, if I made a separate window out of it. But I won't right now. Nonetheless, it's possible to kind of zoom this in just by making the whole window larger, but that would mess up the window behind it, so I'm not going to do that. Well, hey, look at that. Ron is telling Eileen Smith, you have the flute and reverb down. Eileen, I did not know you played the flute. That is so cool. So, and it's, in fact, Michael, she wishes, played the flute. And so maybe I should, read this later. And all right, so there we go. So what can we do now? We have only 20 minutes left of the show, and then the Bluetooth Jubilee show is going to be done for another week. But boy, we've got a lot of flute stuff going on in this one. There'll still be one more. I'm going to try to sneak one more in here. So let's go ahead and take a look at the show notes and bring those in here. So we did that, we did that, we did this, we did that, we did this, we did those, we did those, we didn't do those, we didn't do those. Oh, sound effect of the week. Oh my goodness. How can I not have a sound effect of the week? I must have a sound effect of the week. And I can do this. I can go into the test of it. Oh, not this one. So, let's see. I got to show more of this thing. There we go. Let's go into the Creator Studio. Remember, anybody not knowing how to get to this, you go to your Creator Studio by clicking on your picture up here in the way up here. Okay? Click on your picture. And you click on Creator Studio. That takes you to this thing that shows you stats about stuff and all. You go down here to Create, and oops, and you get an audio library with all these different things in it. Okay. Wow, look at that. And I just zoomed in by look at that. I can zoom in by using the 2 fingers and Control and Alt. Okay, so zoom back out. And you just have to wonder, like, oh, look, ponies and balloons. We can... oh, I got to hear this. So, this is ponies and balloons, folks. Let's see if it plays. Oh, I'm not hearing anything. Why not? Why not? I should be hearing something. I don't think there's any audio there. Let's take a look. Restart. That doesn't seem to be working. Well, I certainly should be hearing something. No. Well, at the moment, this thing isn't working. Well, then heck with them. We'll just talk about other things then. My playback in from here is not working. It might be because I had Audacity open and stuff, and it took over the audio from the other things, because it's not coming through right now. When I played the play, I should be seeing meters running around, but I don't. There's no meters. Okay, all right. So we won't worry about that, because I have other means at my disposal of talking about this. And that is basically, I have a foobar thing up here with some more favorite sounds of the week, and that would be mature sounds. So you would find that by doing a search, M-A-T-U-R-E. That's probably enough. There's Mature Sounds by Jungle Punks, and it's 1:17. I just click on the little star and it adds it to my favorites. So now when I go to my favorites, there it is. It's one of my favorites. Okay, Mature Sounds. That's what you're hearing right now in the background, I hope. Believe you are. So isn't that awesome? So that's your sound effect for the week. And I heard somebody's bleeping me on a browser window somewhere. But I have no browser windows open, so I don't know where that. Oh, Scott. Is that Scott? Michael Daniels? Someone's trying to get my attention. Let me see if I can find out what they're trying to say to me here. Who's trying to get my attention here? Oh, can't do it that way. It's somewhere in this page here. So I guess I'll have to scroll down and over to the left. And find where this is. It says that there's a message. Someone's trying to message me in here. I don't see it. Well, Scott, whatever you're trying to say, I can't find it. It says it's someone's my you know, your taskbar blinks when people are trying to message you. Anyway, but this is Mature Sounds. Very nice. Now, we're also hearing the second one in the line. We're now hearing Stalemate. So, okay, now you've been spoiled rotten. You're hearing two pieces. So let's go ahead and add Stalemate. So, audio library, stale, and that's it. Add it to my favorites. And it's a shorty, you know, it's a short one. Now stop it until I'm not letting you hear any more. That's it. That's it. We're moving on. We got other things to do here. Stop tempting me. Because, as you know, last week we heard... as the sound effect of the week. Now this cartoon, if you take all the cartoon things and download them, you wind up with this wacky collection of cartoon noises of all kinds. Now I always find the cartoon noises to be the most useful things that you can have in your library. I mean, without a doubt, because there's a million uses for them. And what was that? Oh yeah. That kind of thing. So I want you all to download as many of these as you can. I'll continue playing these in the background for a while. All right, continuous slide whistle, I get it. So, again, click on sound effects. There we have it. Sound effects. Go to category. Cartoon. And there you have it. And what I did to download these is I downloaded it. That's what I did to download these. So when you got one that you like, you click on the little download button, and it downloads it to your downloads folder. And then you get a collection of these. And then what I did is I added it to the VLC in this case. This is a VLC media player. Now, one cool thing about the VLC and FooBar and Windows Media Player is that you can direct which where they're going to play back. So I have to actually have this in a pretty fancy setup with my voice meter, that I have a cable A input, cable B input, and I have the voice meter regular VAIO. So here this cable B is obviously my VLC player, and so it has its own volume control. Okay, so I can turn it down if you start finding it's too noisy. See, I had the other one, the music playback in the FooBar, I had that going to cable A. So there you have that. And so I have independent volume controls. And then I could also do the same thing with Windows Media Player, which I have going to the regular, well, actually I have that going to the auxiliary. You just pick on Tools, Options, in Windows Media Player. And you go to Devices. Most people don't know this. Speakers and Property. And now, bingo. See, I've got this going to the voice meter aux input, which is in voice meter. That's this one on the right side, this strip on the right in Voice Meter Pro. Okay. So that's how you set it. You set the audio device by dropping this down and picking which audio device you're going to go to. And bingo. Now with Windows Media Player and with VLC, once you've made the change, you've got to restart the program. You got to shut it down and bring it back up. And VLC is the same way. In FooBar, you can make the change anytime and on the fly, and it will automatically happen. So basically, I got to there by right-clicking up in this blank area in here. I know. All right, competing with me. I know. Gosh, you're trying to be noisy or what? Hey. Yeah. Oh, God. I cannot tell if I'm here or not. I can't make voices. Go to the window. All right. I don't know what this sounds like to me. Next week I'm going to show off some very strange sound effects, by the way. Well, this show's getting out of control is all I can say. But I was going to get this thing out of my way. So to get this thing out of my way, I was going to show. So I right click in this little empty spot. I pick Tools, Options, and that's how I get to this little window here. Then I click on Devices, and I drag. It's not dragging for me. Oh, got a left click. There we go. Go to Speakers and hit Properties. And there you go. That's where I selected it from. All right. So now you know how to use that one. Yes. Boing. Yes. Always boinging at me. But this is great because Windows Media Player is an easy, and VLC are both things you can play videos and stuff like that. And you do the same thing, by the way, in this program, FooBar. You go to Configure. You go to Output right here, and you simply select the item right from up here from the list. Okay. And that one you don't even have to restart. VLC. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Preferences. From the Tools section, hit the audio at the top, right here. I would pick DirectX audio output from this list, okay? And then you pick out your output. In this case, I'm using cable B, which is a free. This one is not free. I paid the author of Voicemeeter to get 2 extra virtual cables, cable A and cable B. So that's how I'm getting those. And then in Voicemeeter, I've got my. That's what I'm using, cable A and cable B for those players. All right, so that's how that works. There you go. Oh my gosh, there's only 5 minutes left of the thing. That's what the alarm is going off for, to remind me that the show's almost over with. So if I'm going to get this thing on the road, I better stop these media players and give one final interlude that's stop hitting it and stop this thing to where is it? There we go. Okay. All right. There. Whew. Good Lord. Do I know how to make chaos or what? So there we are. Get rid of hide this, and we got all right. And I don't know what on earth people are laughing at me about. More cowbell. Yes, ocean sounds. You want ocean sounds? We got ocean sounds. Yes, indeed. Can you get comments from YouTube Live? Yes, you can. Probably using Comment Tracker. Actually, I haven't tried it, Michael. I did want to show off, but there's a new comment tracker out there in the wild that's actually a web page. I clicked on this. It's comment tracker. I'm loading it in. Basically, you share your event. You paste that in here, and hit the plus sign, and then that's your source, and you go to stream, and it shows you the comments and all that kind of cool stuff. And it's a standalone comment tracker. You don't have to use it with. You can have it open before the HOA is started and all. It's not built into the Hangout on Air, and you can use it with an HVC too. But we'll have to try that and see what kind of comments we can grab from this thing. Well, heck, I've got this right here. Oh, that's not what I wanted. That's Task Manager. There we go. So here's my URL. I'll go ahead and copy it and paste it in here, and we'll see if we get the comments from that thing. All right, so doink. So there's the Blue Juice Jubilee show stream. Let's see if the stream comes through. And I know there's something I got to do. Somebody said fun, so that means it's coming. Aha, and there's the link to the thing. Show hidden. And I probably have to refresh something. I don't remember. Settings. Full sources. Screen share mode. Alright. This Jubilee. Well, okay. So I just learned about this from Mr. John Brown. He shared this with me. So, I see fun is in here. Is that a recent comment? No, that's not. That's just in the video. Okay, so that's probably just in the video. Right. Let's see. Get down here. Oh, you can't see what I'm seeing. So, got that. Let's open her up. No, that's not in here. There's no comments in here. So it doesn't look like it's grabbing that, but I just may be using it wrong. There just very well may be a way of pulling it in, but I don't know. So thanks for asking. Yes, drive everybody crazy, watching me fumble around. Yeah, just make everybody crazy. All right, because now the show is just about done, so I have to play a musical interlude, one last one, and bring the show out. So. All right, so let's see where is that thing? There it is, and we'll just put up a full screen. Actually, play it this time. There we. No, it won't play. There we go. Okay, I was double clicking, and bring up this thing here. All right, here goes audio. I'm so glad the audio's held up with this mic because I had to go through the panic of fixing it, you know. Okay, here we go. Okay, and with that, we're over time. We didn't even show all of the things we were going to show, which is fantastic. Now I could be ill prepared next week. And but we did cover a whole lot of really cool things, and I hope you all enjoyed the show. Got some nice music interludes, of course, and but enjoyed all the other stuff that we talked about too. And I just do want to do a tip of the hat, though, to the people that actually beat me to the variety show idea were Sue and Phil Aston, and their son Dan, because they were actually doing a variety show before this one by showing off the cakes and the paintings and the books and the sharing all the stuff that friends were doing and photography. Just come on now. So Phil and Sue Aston, yes, you beat me to it with the variety show, but were an inspiration that kind of helped jog my mind to start thinking in the direction that, hey, I like talking about a lot of things. Let's do a variety show. So thank you to them, and I'm hoping that Phil and Sue might be interested in that YouTube live streaming little ditty that we were fooling around with. So that's another thing. Okay, so thanks a lot, everybody, for coming. It's really fantastic. We didn't bring in HVCs and have that because I want to actually practice a little hosting skills somehow first and get something lined up where I know that we're going to be talking about some specific thing, and I got to send my guest a list of questions that they know what to expect, or at least we've talked to for a minute about what we're going to talk about. And let me get used to being a host, doing hosting, before jumping in there and trying to do it ad lib and improv style. So, because I found out over the last few weeks that that's really been my weak spot. Now that I got to get good at is the hosting part. So we'll get to that, and that'll start up next week along with keyboards. So look for that. And thanks a million for coming by. Let me start up this thing, and I've got everything set up to go off the air. All I have to do is push a button now, and it will be done. So thanks again. I'll see you next week, and have a really great week, and I'll see you around the internet. Take care now, everybody. Bye-bye.